pulses with an energy so strong that he feels he can almost touch it. Having spent many years with the FAA as a controller and then a manager, Sliney is intimately familiar with the workings of the agency. Originally, he had trained to be a lawyer. He returned to the agency only 6 months ago after many years of working in a law partnership he started with a friend from law school. He hadn't thought much about rejoining the agency until his friend, Jack Keyes, the FAA's manager of tactical operations, approached him with a tantalizing offer. Keyes wanted him to take the position of National Operations Manager. But thinking things over, Sliney asked instead for a job first as a specialist. He preferred to develop a comfort level with all the operational details of the command center from the ground up. Becoming a traffic management specialist, he was responsible for reroutings for weather, airspace congestion, ground stops, and all other traffic management issues for the entire East Coast. After just 6 months, though, Keyes again approached him about the job of National Operations Manager, in charge of supervising all activities on the operations floor, overseeing the entire air traffic control system, and wielding the power to resolve all disputes arising among the 22 air traffic control zones, or centers, across the United States. This time, Sliney felt ready. Another style of manager might sit back at his desk and start his first morning by asking for briefings from the center supervisors. Sliney instead makes the rounds. "Glass pictures today?" a weather specialist teases Sliney as he makes his way across the operations floor, wearing a conspicuous blue suit that matches his striking blue eyes. Sliney flashes back a bright smile. Having battled in the pits with the specialists, he knows the ribbing is good-natured. He owns at least a dozen suits, but he never wore one as a specialist, and he's not surprised by the attention he's getting. "Masquerade party today?" ribs another of his former peers as he walks by. Sliney pauses to make an exaggeratedly slow study of the guy's own outfit before responding in his most formal courtroom manner. "I chose my attire carefully so as to reflect all of my readiness, willingness, and ability to manage the complexities of the national airspace system. Your disguise, by the way, is perfect." The nearby specialists snicker, and Sliney hasn't taken many steps before another of them calls out, "Hey, are we still allowed to talk to you? Do we need to address you as Your Honor?" Sliney doesn't miss a beat. "No, you may still address me as Ben. However, henceforth you may not approach me without permission." Sliney is feeling good, confident that his team is on his side. With picture-perfect weather across the nation, severe clear conditions, in pilot speak, nearly 50,000 flights are scheduled for the day, and over 3,000 of them are already airborne. It's shaping up to be a great first day on the job. Northeast Air Defense Sector, Rome, New York. For the first few days of a big training exercise, it's always fun to bring in something fattening. Apple fritters are Bob Marr's favorite morning treat, and he was happy to stop by the Price Chopper this morning on his way to the Northeast Air Defense Sector, NEADS, to pick up a few dozen. The gesture would be good for morale, he figured, as his troops head into what promises to be 10 grueling training days of 12-hour shifts that will test their preparedness. Now at the command post, Marr stares out from the glass-enclosed battle cab at the rows of workstations where his staff are at the ready at their computer consoles, radar screens, and communications equipment. They're awaiting the kickoff of the first big event of Operation Vigilant Guardian, the annual simulated exercise, or SIMEX, run by North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, which oversees NEADS. Although the military bases scattered around the country might give the impression that our soldiers and aircraft sit armed and ready to defend the nation at a moment's notice, in fact, the vast majority of troops train to deploy only overseas. NORAD alone is responsible for the detection of and response to an attack against the mainland United States. To accomplish this critically important mission, NORAD Command is divided among 3 subordinate regional headquarters.